Are you tired of feeling ignored or forgotten by someone you care about? In this video, we're delving into the ancient wisdom of Stoicism and how it can help you create a lasting impact on those around you. Lesson 1. Talk to people less often. People can think about your absence when you don't communicate with them as much. The ancient Stoics thought that less is more, especially when it came to interacting with other people. Lowering the number of times you connect with someone, you give them a chance to long for and appreciate your presence. This doesn't mean shutting down totally. It means being deliberate about when and how you interact with other people. Think about a favorite dish as an example. In the end, it would lose its appeal if you ate it every day. You'll enjoy it more when you finally give in if you save it for special events. The same idea applies to how people talk to each other. People start to notice when you're not around all the time, and they miss you more. You can also keep your emotions in check by interacting with people less often. Stoicism tells us not to depend too much on approval from other people. You can focus on your own inner peace and happiness when you take a step back. Being sure of yourself makes you look good and makes people value your presence even more. In real life, this could mean not always being the first to reach out, waiting a while between texts or meetings, and making sure that when you do talk, it's important and has an effect. This doesn't mean being dishonest or sneaky. It means realizing that limited supply can raise prices. When people don't take your presence for granted, they are more likely to miss you. When you connect with people less, you make it possible for them to miss you more. You stop being everywhere and become a loved presence. Lesson 2. Take care of yourself. One of the most important ideas in Stoicism is independence. It's also one of the best ways to make people miss you. People find you more interesting and beautiful when you show that you can do things on your own and don't need other people to make you happy. Being independent shows that you are strong, and people are usually drawn to strong people. The Stoics thought that happiness comes from inside, not from outside sources. By learning to be independent, you show other people that you are happy and whole on your own. This doesn't mean excluding others or turning down help when you need it. It just means that your self-worth isn't based on what they think or do. Being independent means you're not always looking for approval or respect. You're not always available, and other people don't have to fill your time or make you feel good about yourself. In partnerships, this can make things very interesting. People are interested in self-sufficient people because it makes them seem sure of themselves, strong, and in charge of their lives. Being on your own also lets you keep a secret about yourself. People start to wonder about you when you're not always around or easy to reach. People miss having you around and want to know more about what you're up to and what you think. This desire to know more can be very strong. You can be independent by doing the things that you enjoy, making limits, and not being afraid to be alone. It's about being honest about who you are and what you want, and not letting other people make you give up your ideals or needs. People will miss you more when you're not around if you have your own life and are not focused on someone else all the time. Being independent lets you make your relationships more important. When you don't depend on other people too much, you can offer support, advice, and company without coming across as needy, which can make people avoid you. You can give without guilt because you don't need anything in return. You give because you have plenty. Stoicism says that being independent also means being emotionally free. This means not letting other people's thoughts, deeds, or feelings affect you too much. By keeping your emotions in check, you become a steady, calming presence in other people's lives. This can make them miss you when you're not there. Being independent gives off an air of power and independence that is both appealing and interesting. Ironically, showing that you don't need other people to make you whole makes them want to be with you even more. The Stoics said that independence is not about being alone, but about giving yourself power. Being independent is also one of the best ways to make people miss you. Lesson 3. Don't say too much. Being emotionally balanced and not showing your feelings too much are important lessons that can be learned from Stoicism. This doesn't mean hiding your feelings. It means not letting them run your life or decide what you should do. It can come across as needy or anxious to be too expressive, especially if you're doing it to get attention or approval. Slowing down your facial movements, on the other hand, gives off an air of calmness and confidence that people like. Being too open can sometimes be too much for other people. People may be less likely to want to be close to you if they think you are unpredictable or mentally unstable. On the other hand, keeping your cool makes you seem stable, which makes other people want to be around you. They know that even when things are tough, they can count on you to stay calm and sensible. Stoicism tells us to be careful about how we show how we feel. It teaches us to respond instead of react, to think about how our actions and words will affect others before we do them. This doesn't mean being cold or distant. It means being careful and thinking about how we say how we feel. You create a sense of wonder when you're not too expressive. Some people are more interested in you because they don't always know what you're thinking or feeling. People may miss having you around because they want to understand you better. Not putting your heart on the sleeve in every conversation is what this means, not playing games or being cunning. This could mean pausing to think before you talk, not letting everyone know all of your thoughts and feelings at once, and being picky about when and how you show your feelings. Finding the right mix between being open and private is important. You should also know when to share and when to keep things to yourself. You can keep control of your relationships by being less expressive. When your emotions don't get the best of you, it's easier to handle tough talks or disagreements. People may respect and value your opinion more if you keep a cool head in tough circumstances. The goal is to reach a state of apatheia, which means freedom from passion. In this state, your feelings don't control you. Instead, your mind guides you. This doesn't mean having no feelings. It means being in charge of your feelings instead of letting them run your life. To become a calm and steady person that people miss when you're not around, you need to get good at this. When you're not too passionate, you give off an air of stability and balance that makes people feel at ease. People are more interested in being around you because you keep an air of wonder and confidence about yourself. Lesson 4. Keep a good attitude. Being positive is very strong, and in Stoicism, it's tied to the idea of living in harmony with nature and accepting the things we can't change. When you keep an upbeat attitude, even when things are hard, you shine a light on other people's lives. People are usually drawn to positive people, and they will miss you when you're not there. Stoicism tells us to accept what we can't change and focus on the things we can. This way of thinking helps us stay upbeat even when things are hard. By taking this Stoic view, you become someone who can always see the bright side of things, which is a very attractive trait. Some people are more likely to miss you when they think of good things about you. To stay upbeat, you don't have to ignore the truth or act like everything is always great. It's about picking to see the good in things, even when things are bad. It's about being strong when things go wrong and keeping a positive attitude, which can inspire and lift those around you. You can help other people feel better when you stay upbeat. People will miss the peace of mind and comfort that your positivity brings during times of stress or doubt. They will remember how you help them see the good in things, and they will miss having you around when you're not there. Being positive spreads. You can make other people feel better and start a good chain reaction when you keep a positive attitude. People are usually drawn to those who make them happy, and if you're that person, they'll miss you more. Having faith in the natural order of things is another part of Stoicism that helps people stay cheerful. It means having faith that everything happens for a reason and that things will work out in the end. People can feel very reassured by your faith, which helps you stay calm and upbeat even when things go wrong. By keeping positive, you give off an air of hope and strength that makes people want to be around you. Because of your kindness and warmth, you become a source of light and comfort for everyone you meet. Lesson 5. Always be helpful. Being supportive is a key part of making relationships that last. Stoicism shows us how important it is to be there for other people, not because we have to, but because we care about them. Giving people your support on a regular basis makes you someone they can count on, and they'll miss you when you're not there. Being helpful means being there for someone when they need you, listening, and giving them support when they're having a hard time. You can build a strong bond of trust and connection by being a source of power and stability. Because they know they can count on you, people will miss you more when you're not around. Stoicism shows us how important it is to be a good friend and member of our community. When the Stoics lived, they thought that everyone was linked and that helping each other was important. Being helpful shows that you follow these Stoic ideals, which makes the people around you better. Supporting someone doesn't mean you have to agree with them all the time or give up your own wants. It's about finding a way to take care of yourself while also being there for other people. Being able to help others and take care of yourself at the same time makes for healthy, long-lasting connections. Helping out when it's needed, listening well, and giving helpful comments are all examples of being supportive. Being kind and accepting and showing that you care about other people's well-being is what it means. When you help people over and over again, they'll come to depend on you, and they'll miss having you there to counsel and cheer them on. Being consistent is also part of being helpful. When people know they can always count on you, they miss you more. Being consistent helps people trust you, and trust is an important part of any interaction. People rely on you for support when you're always there for them. And when you're not there, they'll probably feel your loss more. Stoicism says that being helpful also means showing kindness and understanding. It means realizing that everyone is going through their own problems and supporting them in a way that means something. When you treat people with kindness, you build a strong bond of connection and understanding. This can make people miss you when you're not around. Being helpful helps you build strong, long-lasting relationships with other people. You become someone they can trust, someone who supports, guides, and cares for them. Lesson 6. Be open and honest. Being open and honest is a key part of building trust and credibility in partnerships. Stoicism shows us how important it is to be honest, have integrity, and be ourselves. Sharing the truth with others builds trust, which can make them miss you when you're not by their side. Being clear means being honest and open with other people. It means being honest about your goals, feelings, and objectives. Being honest and open makes people believe and respect you more, which can strengthen your relationships and make people value your presence more. Stoicism stresses how important it is to be true to yourself and live in harmony with nature. This means not putting on a show when you talk to people and being honest. Being honest and open with others shows that you can be trusted, which can make them miss you when you're not around. Being responsible for your deeds is also part of being transparent. Being honest about your flaws and taking responsibility for your mistakes is what it means. Sharing what you really think and feel shows that you're human and ready to learn and grow. Being this honest can help people feel connected and trusting, which can make them miss you when you're not there. Being open means being honest about how you feel and what you want to do, and not hiding who you really are. It means being honest and talking to each other, not hiding things or having secrets. Being honest builds trust in your relationships, which can make people value your presence more. Being steady in what you say and do is also part of being transparent. When people believe you will keep your word, they are more likely to miss you. Being consistent builds trust, and trust is an important part of any relationship that matters. Being honest also means staying true to your ideals and principles. It means living in line with your values and being honest with other people and yourself. Being honest makes people believe and respect you, which can make them miss you when you're not together. Being honest helps you build strong, trusted relationships with other people. By being honest and open, you make the space where you're present more valuable to others. Stoicism can teach us important lessons about how to make people miss us in a meaningful way. You can have a lasting effect on the people around you by interacting with them less, being independent, not being too expressive, staying upbeat, being helpful, and being honest. These ideas will not only help you make your relationships better, but they will also help you find peace and confidence in yourself. You shouldn't try to trick people into missing you. Instead, You should live in a way that makes people want to be with you. By following the ideas of Stoicism, you can make relationships that matter to other people and make them miss you when you're not there.